Angie, where on earth are you right now? You're supposed to be doing your chores. I know you're off playing your silly little computer games or whatever, and if you have time to play games, then you have time to work around the house. I moved out. What? You're constantly barging into my room while I'm meeting with a client to scream at me about one thing or another, and you've also thrown away documents I need for work 3 times this month. I can't work in an environment like that, so I left. Ah, yes, that's a lovely fantasy, but in reality, you're nothing but an unemployed parasite. Now hurry up and get back here. Your brother will be home from work any minute now. How do you think he'll feel if there's no hot meal waiting for him? You also have laundry to do, and I've been telling you to clean the bath and toilet for 2 days now. I've got an idea. How about you do some of the housework for a change? Ever since Dad died, you've been living off of our incomes, and you haven't even held a job either, so it's not like you're too busy to do it yourself. Excuse me? Not only do I have to deal with moving into my new place, but I'm also super close to a deadline for a big project, so I'm super busy right now. Talk to you later. Hold it right there, young lady!
Hey, Angie, got a minute?
Terry? Wow, it's nice to hear from you. It's been so long.
Listen, I've got something to ask of you. And, well, it's a pretty big ask.
Uh-oh, what is it?
The thing is, the company I've been working for just went bankrupt.
Holy cow, bankrupt?
I just found out today. The CEO called a meeting out of the blue when I got to work. And that's when he broke the news. And all the other employees are freaking out.
Oh, man. Wow, I can't imagine how that must feel. All of a sudden, the job you thought you could count on just up and vanishes.
Yeah, it's definitely not a great feeling. The CEO did say that he would work around the clock with his contacts to find us all new jobs. But the company he wants to set us up with is an absolute hellscape. A couple of my college buddies worked there. They were shocked with so much overtime. It put them in the hospital. They both quit within a few months.
Yikes, oh, that doesn't sound like a place I'd want to work.
Right? So I talked to my wife about it and decided that I'm gonna go ahead and turn that offer down and find new employment for myself. And since I'm currently living in employee housing owned by a company that's going bankrupt, I'm also gonna have to find a new place to live.
Wow, I'm sorry, Terry.
Since I'm gonna be unemployed for at least a little while, I'd be nervous about signing up for an apartment lease, and with my wife being pregnant and all.
Do you want to come and stay with me in my condo? I've got a spare room that you can use.
It would only be a temporary situation, I promise. As soon as I find work, we'll move out as soon as possible. We won't be a burden, Angie. And we might not be able to pay much, but we'll definitely give you some money toward living expenses. Now, just one big problem remains. Since Mom is currently living with us in my company's apartment, she's probably gonna come along with us.
Yeah, I figured as much.
And that's exactly why I feel so reluctant to do this to you. I know you left the house specifically to get away from her terrible treatment of you, and now I'm gonna be throwing you right back into that environment.
I understand, but you have more important things to worry about. Your wife's gonna give birth soon, right? I know you said her parents live way on the other side of the state, so you can't live with them, and it would be difficult for her to change to a completely different doctor at this point. So for you guys, considering the entirety of your situation, there really isn't any other option but to move in with me. Does that about cover it?
Yeah, you said exactly what I was just about to. I really hate to ask you to do this, Angie.
Okay, well, I totally understand your circumstances. But I think you should know that I've had a change in my own circumstances lately. And, well, I guess if you're okay with dealing with that, then I think it shouldn't be a problem for you guys to live with me on a temporary basis.
Circumstances? What's up?
It's kind of a long story, too long for texting. Could we meet up and talk things over?
Sure, no problem. How about tomorrow afternoon? Are you free?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon works fine for me. Angie! How many times do I have to tell you before it gets through that thick skull of yours? You need to do more housework. Sure, your brother might have a wife of his own, but she just gave birth. She needs to take care of the baby. You've got the most free time on your hands, so put those hands to work. I am doing housework. Oh, you are you? Exactly what have you done this week, Go on, do tell. I've been taking turns with Terry rocking the baby back to sleep when he wakes up at night in order to let Samantha get as much sleep as possible. I also do the laundry, go shopping, wash dishes, vacuum the carpet, cook meals, clean the bath, clean the toilet, sweep the hardwood flooring, take care of paying the utility bills, and probably a few more things I've forgotten. I've never seen you doing any of that. Well, that doesn't surprise me, since you're usually too focused on whatever TV show you're watching to notice anything else going on in the house. Oh, now you're blaming me for the fact that you are a lousy homemaker? No, just saying that if you would turn off the TV every now and then, maybe you might make yourself useful one of these days. You really are an ungrateful little wretch, Angie. Even though you're being generously allowed to live in this beautiful condo, you think you can talk to me like that? Huh? I'm being allowed to live here? Yes, obviously. Out of the kindness of his heart, that Saint Terry has deigned to allow you to move in with us. Honestly, you don't deserve to benefit even in the slightest from Terry's hard work. He's such a hard worker, he was able to buy this condo the instant we had to leave his old place. I'd be more understanding if you actually had a job, but you're still just playing on your computer all day. I am working. I'm doing the exact same job I was working 3 years ago. You just didn't listen to me. I mean, seriously, Mom, where have you been the last 4 years? Everyone knows what remote work is. You might be the last person alive who doesn't understand that some people can work from home. Don't patronize me, you little brat. Of course I know what remote work is. I just recognize the reality that someone with no work experience like yourself would never be allowed to work from home. Someone as useless as you has to be closely observed, or else you'll just start slacking off. I see. I guess you're just committed to this vision you have where I'm a useless nobody, Mom. I'm committed to encouraging you to make something of yourself. I don't want you to be a useless nobody forever. The only one who thinks I'm a useless nobody is you. And for the record, I'm the one who got this condo. I started renting it 3 years ago when I first moved out of the house. And also for the record, Terry is still looking for work after his last company went bankrupt. How did you get so deluded? Deluded? Me? I mean, I know for a fact that he's told you all of this multiple times. That boy is truly a saint, telling lie after lie to his own mother to protect his good-for-nothing little sister. An upstanding man like him who can buy an amazing condo like this downtown deserves to be able to boast about his success. But instead, he's humiliating himself to protect the likes of you. Such a tragedy. I've had more of this than I can take. I'm going to get back to work. Oh, there you go again, pretending you have work to do to get out of talking to me and doing your chores. Where did I go wrong in raising you? I feel like an utter failure. I think I might have to finally resort to more drastic measures.
Oh no, Angie, this is really bad. Mom just had all your stuff hauled away to the dump. Your furniture, clothes, files, cabinets, everything. It's all gone.
What?
She must have thought that today was our only chance since both of you and I will be out of the house. Seriously, Angie, I'm so sorry, but your room is totally empty.
Huh. Okay. That's fine. I mean, this was such perfect timing for her to do that. It's actually pretty funny.
What?
All of my stuff is actually safe and sound, exactly where I put it.
Oh, right. I totally forgot about that.
Yep, I already put everything I was going to take with me in my rental locker. The only stuff I had left in my room was stuff I was gonna be throwing away or donating to charity anyway. But, wow, I expected Mom to do something like this eventually, but this is honestly a bit earlier than I predicted.
Yeah, looks like we've come to the end of the line.
You guys should make your move as soon as possible, too. You've seen how Mom has been since you guys moved in. She's gotten even lazier and more entitled than she ever was before. Once I'm out of the picture, I'd say it's only a matter of time before she sets her sights on Samantha. You get that too, right? I can't imagine it's going to be easy to raise your kid in a peaceful, loving environment with her around.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Just remember, if you guys are having any trouble at all financially, you let me know and I'll do whatever I can. I wouldn't have any problems with you guys coming back to live with me over there if it would help you get back on your feet.
I really appreciate it, Angie. I'll talk to Samantha tonight and see what she thinks.
Hello there, Angie. I thought you ought to know that I've had all your things taken to the dump. Want them back? Go and get them. And don't think you'll be allowed back into this condo ever again. You can live where an unemployed leech like you deserves, on the street. Now I'll be able to have a peaceful, happy life with my grandchild. Without you freeloading, things should get easier financially for your brother. And since the baby's getting older, Samantha can start doing all the housework that you refused to do. Oh, I'll never get tired of the view from this floor. This is the lifestyle I've always deserved, and it's finally mine. Hey there, Mom. I was meaning to thank you for taking care of throwing away all that junk for me. What? And just so you know, I terminated the lease on that condo. You what? Now, I'm actually quite busy at the moment, so if you'll excuse me. You terminated the lease? I don't understand. Angie! What sort of evil, twisted lies did you tell Terry and Samantha? Not sure what you're talking about, Mom. What's going on with Terry and his family? What's going on? They're gone! And it's all thanks to you and your silly threat to terminate the lease. Threat? They knew from the very beginning that I was going to be terminating the lease. The intent was always for this to be a temporary living situation for them. Wait, temporary? Again, I know for a fact that Terry told you all about this. You're just being delusional. I'm not the delusional one. You are. This whole time you've been talking as if the condo your brother worked so hard to purchase for me was yours all along, as if you could afford such a thing. And then you went so far as to call your brother unemployed. How disgraceful can you be? Okay, so for the millionth time now, the reason Terry told you that wasn't because he was protecting me. That's all just 100% factually true information. Again with your lies. The company Terry was working for suddenly went bankrupt. Being newly unemployed, it would be pretty difficult for them to rent an apartment. Plus, Samantha was in the final month of her pregnancy and the baby was set to be born any moment. So it would be a huge burden on her to move far away and get set up with a new doctor in time. And so, considering their circumstances, the possibility that made the most sense was for them to move in with me temporarily. That's why he asked me, and I agreed to let the three of you move into my condo. But I thought he moved out of the employee housing because he bought this new condo. He's not insane, Mom. No one would do something as stupid as buy a new condo exactly when their company went bankrupt. But, that doesn't make any sense. If he didn't buy or rent that condo, how was he living there? Are you starting to develop dementia, or are you just not listening to me? I rented it. How could you? You're unemployed. I'm a YouTuber. A what? What on earth is that? It doesn't surprise me that you don't know. Your generation wouldn't be very familiar with it. But I'm still taking in about 30 grand a month. 30,000? But then you're telling me that Terry's company really went bankrupt? It was a pretty big shock to the local economy. I bet if you did a quick internet search, you'd find all sorts of news articles about it. Oh no. You were telling the truth? Let's get this conversation back on track now, okay? Now, the timing of Terry moving in with me was somewhat unfortunate. I've been planning to move downtown for a while, since while living in the suburbs is nice for families, it's pretty inconvenient for my work. As such, I would be terminating the lease for my old condo around the same time. I told Terry that he could live with me up until I was going to move out, so roughly 4 or 5 months, and after that he would have to find some more permanent arrangement for himself. Wait a moment, 4 or 5 months? But I've been living here for 5 months, so... You guessed it, the big day has finally come and I'm moving out. Terry and I have been getting ready for this move for the last several months. What about you, Mom? Have you figured out where you're going to live from now on? Oh boy, you haven't done any planning at all? Well, I'll just keep on living with Terry and his family. Are you serious? Terry knows all about how terribly you were treating Samantha back when you were living in the company apartment. He told you all the way back then that he wanted you to move out, right? He wasn't thinking clearly, you see. Fortunately for you, though, it was around that same time when his company went under, which meant he had much more important things on his mind than dealing with your nonsense. But don't tell me you didn't notice. Think about it. During the last few months while we've been living together in my condo, have we ever left you alone with Samantha? Even once? Didn't you think that was a little bit strange? Now that you mention it. Yeah, well, that was all intentional. Now, the next order of business, where are you going to live now? You can live wherever you want. You can go back to your hometown, rent an apartment by yourself, join a convent. The choice is yours. Wait a moment. Oh, this is all far too sudden. We've been telling you for months. You just haven't been listening. So no, I'm not going to let you sit there and be all like, oh no, poor me. I had no idea this was coming. But I really am unprepared for this. Now that I think about it, Terry did mention talking to Aunt Virginia about what we were going to do with you. Aunt Virginia? You talked to my sister? Yep. What were you thinking? You know how that woman is. She was an MMA fighter for years. Her solutions to problems always involve her fists. If I have one piece of advice to give you, it's this. I strongly suggest you do the housework on your own from now on. Oh no. Now, I've got a very big collab project coming up, so if you'll excuse me, I've got a ton of preparation to do. Wait, Angie! Bye, Mom! On the day they moved out of the condo, my brother showed up to the house with the moving company and my Aunt Virginia in tow. Mom started crying and screaming like, I don't want to move. I want to live here. I want to live with my grandchild. I don't want to do any chores. But Aunt Virginia's specialty full Nelson put a stop to that. She dragged her into her car and drove off to her house way out in the forest outside the city. As for my brother, my media network happened to be looking for someone with solid business experience, and when they looked at Terry's resume, they offered him the job right there on the spot. So Terry and his family moved downtown with me. Well, not really with me, but they did get an apartment in the same area of town, so we can spend all the time together that we'd like. When Mom heard that we were all living happily and peacefully in the city, she tried to make her big escape from Aunt Virginia's house. But she didn't even get 3 steps out of the front door when Aunt Virginia put her in a textbook figure 4 lock. And when she tapped out, she dragged her right back inside. And she remains there to this day, undergoing the very, very strict rehabilitation program run by my dear Aunt Virginia. Hey there, Mom. I found an odd amount of water pooled up on the ground underneath the laundry I hung out on the line before I left this morning. You went and poured buckets of water all over them, didn't you? Another thing, I made a big pot of beef stew to have for dinner tonight, but I can't seem to find the pot or the stew anywhere. I suppose this is your doing as well, yeah? Plus, it seems that someone has dumped the garbage from the garbage can all over the living room floor. Would you mind telling me exactly why you did all of that? You really want to know, Judy? You call yourself a housewife, yet feel entitled to completely abandon your responsibilities at home. You're supposed to be doing housework, not having luncheons with your friends. I did all the housework. I'm asking why you felt compelled to completely ruin all the housework that I did. You know, the laundry, cooking, and cleaning. As I just said, it's your fault for abandoning your responsibilities around the house. You left the house and it fell into ruin. You can't blame me for that. It wasn't a luncheon, and I wasn't gallivanting. I was going to take care of my mom in the hospital. I told you about this beforehand. I can't put all the burden of caring for her on my brother and his wife, so I'm going down to help out when I can to give them a break. Don't be ridiculous. Of course you can put it all on her. That's her job. She married into your family, didn't she? When you married into this family, you agreed to prioritize our needs over your old family's. That's what it means to be a wife. Your brother's wife made the same deal. And allow me to repeat myself, you're a housewife. What sort of housewife doesn't take care of the housework? You have a job to do here, and you'll do it or else. Allow me to repeat myself. I did do the housework. I did the laundry and hung it on the line. I made a big pot of beef stew for dinner. I cleaned the living room and vacuumed the floor. I did all of that. And then you came along and ruined everything I did. Do you have any evidence it was me? Yes. What? Did you forget? We have security cameras monitoring the house in every room. They've been there since before you moved in with us. You knew all about them. You mean you actually had those things turned on? Yeah. What good are security cameras if they're not on? That's an egregious invasion of my privacy. I'll be having a little talk with Jake about this. Go ahead. He's the one who told you about the security cameras, though, so I'm not sure how much good it'll do you. You'll get what's coming to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get to work on redoing all the housework that I already did this morning, thanks to you. Also, I won't be able to have dinner ready in time, so I'm not sure where you are right now, but go ahead and get something for yourself on the way home. Unbelievable! Now you're slacking off on making dinner for us? I'm terribly sorry, but you and the friends you called over for lunch today ate all the beef stew that I was planning to have for dinner, so you'll just have to make do. You can't talk to me that way! Right now, that's the most civil language I can use with you. Impudent little girl, I am your mother-in-law! I'm done with this conversation. I want to get the housework done before midnight. Jake, your mother did it again today.
What?
She called her friends over for lunch today and they ate up all the beef stew that I had made for dinner.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I saw it all on the security monitors. To add insult to injury, she even told her friends that she was the one who made it. She also dumped buckets of water all over the laundry that I had put out on the line to dry. And to top it all off, she dumped the garbage out all over the living room floor I had just vacuumed.
Unreal. She just moved in 3 days ago. I can't believe my mother would behave so childish.
On the first night, she threw the dinner I made away and said it was disgusting. Then yesterday, she told me I was folding the clothes wrong, so she threw them all out of the closet and made me fold them again. I know she's your mother, and I don't want to be disrespectful toward her, but, this is all just too much, right?
I'm so sorry, Judy.
Well, it's nothing for you to be sorry about. The apartment she was living in by herself burned down in a freak accident, leaving her with nowhere to go on short notice. What else were we supposed to do? We couldn't just kick her out onto the curb.
For now, I'll just tell her that she needs to sign a new lease and move out as soon as possible. Her apartment was pretty standard. It won't be too hard to find one that's on the same level. Be okay with it. We can help her out with moving and her initial expenses to help her move out of the house even sooner.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. If I knew exactly when she'll be leaving, it could make dealing with her a bit easier.
Again, I'm really sorry to be putting you through this. Let me know if anything else happens, okay?
Thanks, Jake. I'll do that.
I'm getting in the car right now. Do you want me to pick you up something on my way home?
You know what? That sounds absolutely fantastic.
What are you in the mood for? I was thinking tacos.
I'm fine with whatever you want to have.
Gotcha. Okay, see you in a bit.
Drive careful, Jake. I love you. I don't believe you, Judy. Are you actually going out again? How shameless can you be? A housewife who constantly refuses to do housework and goes out into town every day? I'm more disappointed in you than I can describe. I can't take any more of this. You think you can live off my son's hard-earned money while contributing absolutely nothing to the family, but I won't allow that to continue. You and Jake are getting divorced. Mom, what is wrong with you? You put all of my things down by the curb? And my key doesn't work. Did you actually change the locks on me? I can't get into the house. Oh, you finally came crawling back home, did you? I hope you had fun during your night on the town. Just when I started to think you couldn't possibly become any worse of a parasite, you go out and party the night away until morning. My mom had a major surgery yesterday, and I was staying at my parents' house overnight. I told you all of this beforehand, so I won't let you pretend that you didn't know. And that's all besides the point. Why did you throw all of my things down on the curb? You had better have a very good explanation for this. It's all very simple, Judy. I'm kicking you out of this house. What? What makes you think you have the right to kick me out of my own home? Your home? What on earth are you talking about? This isn't your home. Not anymore. I have no need for a housewife who's never around the house. Get out and never come back. I won't allow you to mooch off my dear son for one more second. Take your things and leave, you worthless parasite. Starting today, this house belongs to me and my son. Is that so? Well then, starting next month, your rent will be $3,500 a month. What?
Mom.
Oh, there you are, Jake. That awful Judy has lost her mind. You'll never believe what she just told me. When I told her I was kicking her out of the house, she told me I'd have to pay rent. And do you know how much she said rent was? $3,500. Oh, where does she get off? You'll have to be careful of her after the divorce, Jake. She'll try and come after your money again, I'm sure of it. I bet that whole rent nonsense is just her attempt to keep up her pampered lifestyle without having to work for herself for once. I don't know how she even thinks she could charge me rent at all. Oh, goodness, what did you ever see in that girl?
I don't know, Mom. Seems pretty straightforward to me. When someone lives in your house, they become your tenant and you become their landlord. That's how real estate works.
Wait, what?
The house title is in Judy's name, Mom.
It's Judy's? What do you mean?
You tried to kick Judy out of the house to live there without her just now, didn't you? Well, if you want the owner of the house to leave the house, seems pretty obvious that you'd have to pay her rent.
That's ridiculous. The house is yours, isn't it?
Nope, it's not. Legally, the house belongs to Judy.
But, that's impossible. She doesn't work. All she does is leech off of your hard-earned money. How could she afford to buy a house?
Actually, Judy isn't a housewife. Not a full-time one, anyway.
You're not making any sense.
She manages apartment buildings and parking lots.
She does? Oh, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
She doesn't talk about it much because back when she started, she actually had to cut off ties with a couple old friends who that just because she was the building owner, that she would rent to them for free or cheap. Tell you the truth, I didn't even know about it until after I proposed to her. With her rental income, we decided that only one of us would need to work. When we started trying to have kids, she quit the office job she had been doing and just kept up with her real estate business.
But she's asking for $3,500 a month. Isn't that insane?
Given the area and the size of the house, I say that's fair market value, honestly.
But I'm her mother-in-law. She can't take money from me.
Yeah, the thing about that is yes, she absolutely can. She owned the house and gave you her terms. If you want to keep living there, pay her $3,500 a month. If you don't like it, there's only one thing for you to do. Move out.
Move out?
That was always the plan from the beginning, wasn't it? You said when you moved in that you'd only be living with us for as long as it took to get a new apartment.
Well, I was only saying that to be polite. I thought you'd be fine with me continuing to live here, well, permanently.
I did consider the possibility that things might turn out that way when you first moved in, yeah. But that all went out the window on the very first day when you started verbally abusing Judy before you even had your suitcases unpacked.
Verbal abuse? Oh, that's nonsense. I did no such thing.
If you really think you weren't being verbally abusive, all I can say is yikes. Judy wanted to stay out of it and let you find a new place at your own pace, out of respect for you as my mother and sympathy for your last place burning down. But now that you're trying to kick her out and take the house for your own, you've got to understand that anymore, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that you'll be able to keep living with us.
No, but, well, then where am I supposed to go?
Figure it out yourself. You have a job, don't you? You have means. You're an adult. You're more than capable of finding and paying for your own apartment. Why are you so intent on living with us permanently?
Well, I sort of got fired.
You got fired? What the hell did you do, Mom?
I didn't do anything wrong. Not the way I see it, anyway. I mean, it's a big company, right? Oh, they had more than enough things like toilet paper, coffee, snacks. So I took some home with me from time to time.
Oh, no.
And then I started doing it more and more. They said if I paid the company back for the amount I took home with me, then they wouldn't press charges. And that ate through practically all of my savings.
You're lucky that's all they did to you. That's theft, Mom. It's a crime.
Really?
Yes, really. How could you not get that? I don't believe this. You treated Judy like she was a parasite when you were the one who was freeloading. Yep, there's no way I'm gonna let you live with us after this.
Oh, Jake, don't say that. How will I go on if I can't live here anymore? What am I supposed to do?
Find a job as a live-in maid or something, I don't know.
Jake!
Whatever you do from now on is no longer any concern of mine.
What are you saying?
I have a message from Judy for you. You can continue living in that house if you want, but I'm not budging on my terms. The price is $3,500 a month, no less. If you can't pay it, then I want you out of the house by the end of the month. End of story.
But, oh, you don't agree with her, do you?
Do I really need to ask? Yes, I am 100% on Judy's side in all of this, and I always will be.
Not you too, Jake.
If only you hadn't been so horrible to Judy, we might have at least helped set you up with a nice apartment somewhere nearby, or even allowed you to stay with us on a more semi-permanent basis. That's long gone now, though, and you have only yourself and your horrendous evil behavior to blame.
Jake, wait!
I always knew you had a bit of a self-centered side to you, Mom, but I never thought you'd do a thing like this. I'll come by to pick up my things from that house after you moved out as soon as you possibly can. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end of the month either. The sooner you're out of our life, the better.
Jake's mother's inability to consider the possibility that she was in the wrong seems to have been a recurring theme for her. Even her husband, Jake's father, had been putting up with her for years, and when Jake moved out of the house several years ago, he decided that the time was right and divorced her. On the very last day of the month, my mother-in-law managed to find a job with employee housing and rushed to move all of her things out of the house. It seems that a $3,500 rent was just a little bit above her budget. Isn't that a shame? As for Jake and I, we decided to rent out that house for some additional income. We're now living in a comfortable little condo that's right at the halfway point between my parents' house and Jake's office. Jake still gets texts from his mom on occasion, but all she ever talks about is how much she hates her job. Sometimes I come close to feeling sorry for her, but when I think about her awful behavior and total lack of remorse, I remember that she's getting exactly what she deserves. We haven't blocked her number, but that's just so we can keep tabs on her. We have no intention to involve ourselves with her ever again. Hey, Travis. Have you seen the group text Kathy sent out to the family?
Hey, Linda. Yeah, I saw it. I can't believe it. Our little Kathy is getting married. Seemed like just yesterday she graduated high school. Her fiancé is coming this Saturday, right? Can't wait to meet him.
She's 25, Travis. 7 years isn't exactly yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it feels like yesterday. It's just crazy to think that when we first got married, she was only 5 years old. She's been a part of my life for so long that I honestly feel like she's my real daughter, not just my stepdaughter.
I guess I can understand why you'd feel that way, but just remember one thing. It's only a feeling. You can enjoy the feeling while it lasts, but it'll never be more than that.
Huh?
You might have been acting as a stand-in for her father for 20 years, but that's all you'll ever be. You're not her real father.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm aware of that, but geez, do you have to be so harsh to me like that?
Do you think I'd be talking to you like this without a reason?
Linda, what's going on? What are you trying to say?
If I have to spell it out for you, I'm saying that your time is up, Travis. I've been talking to Kathy's father, Nate, and we've decided to get back together.
What?
Back when we divorced, Nate was working at a super high-stress company. The stress got to him, and he had a mental breakdown that cost him his job. I figured there would be no way he could support Kathy and me until he worked his issues out, so I asked him to divorce me, and he agreed. But now it's been 20 years since then. We met up again about 6 months ago, and he was like a brand new man. He's a high-powered executive now. He runs his own company. Kathy knows you're not her real father, and since she's out on her own now, I figured it was about time her real father stepped back into the role officially.
Linda, what are you saying?
You really still don't get it? I want Kathy's real father to walk her down the aisle at the wedding as my husband. It's time, Travis. We're getting divorced. I think that should make it crystal clear, right? I want to get it done as soon as possible, before her fiancé comes over on Saturday. If her fiancé meets you, it'll just make things more complicated. Since I'll be married to Nate by the wedding, that means the groom and his family will start asking questions like, wait, so which one is her father? Or something. That's an awkward conversation I would really prefer to avoid.
You seem like you've worked this all out for yourself in your head. But have you thought to ask Kathy what she thinks?
She's my daughter, Travis. I don't need to hear it from her mouth to know what she's thinking.
I see. Fine then. We'll get divorced. On one condition. First, you have to talk to Kathy directly, in person, and see how she feels about everything.
I told you I don't need to ask her. Of course she's going to choose her real father. God, were you always this much of a whiny loser? I'm starting to wish I had made this move sooner. Just do everyone a favor and never talk to Kathy again, okay?
I've made up my mind. I'm talking to Kathy first before making any decisions.
No one likes a pathetic, clingy old man, Travis.
I've still got work to do today, so I'll take my leave from this conversation here. Hey, Kathy. I saw the group text you sent out.
Hey, Dad.
I'm so happy to hear that Mitch finally proposed to you. I know how strongly you felt about him for some time now. Congratulations.
Finally is right. He said he was able to pay back the last of his student loans, so he thought now was the time.
Wow, all paid off already? That guy is a real hard worker. He's a keeper, Kathy. You take care of him, you hear?
Oh, I plan on it. By the way...
What is it?
How are you doing after, well, you know?
Ah, that. Yeah, your mom dropped that thermonuclear warhead on me while I was on my lunch break today. Apparently her and Nate are getting back together, so she wants me out of the picture.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. Seriously, how can she do a thing like this? I was so shocked when she told me what was going on that I couldn't speak. I couldn't cry. I could barely even move. And then she told me I don't need to worry about you because since Nate's some big-shot businessman, she can leave you all the assets in the divorce.
Oh, wow. I'm touched that she's going out of her way to be so considerate to me. She's so generous. A regular Mother Teresa.
Did she tell you anything else?
She said she wants to get the divorce settled by Saturday so she can introduce Nate as your father when Mitch comes over this weekend.
Saturday? Isn't that just a teensy bit soon?
Her plan is to have Nate walk you down the aisle at your wedding and have him at the family table as her husband. She said she wants to avoid having any awkward conversation with Mitch's family, so she only wants them to ever meet Nate.
What? No, not a chance. That is not happening. Absolutely not. I mean, sure, he may be my biological dad, but he hasn't been any part of my life in 20 years. I barely even met him.
I thought you'd feel that way, but your mother seems to have it in her head that you'd have the same position as her in all of this. It looks like her assumption missed the mark a bit.
Seriously? But, I mean, I've already talked to Mitch about our family's circumstances. He knows the whole story. Sure, I never told Mom that I talked to him, but did she really think I'd withhold a detail that massive from my own fiancé?
Yeah, and what's more, Mitch and I have already met, so I'm not sure what she thinks she's preventing.
I know, right? But I guess Mom doesn't know about that either. And another thing, about the wedding. Mitch and I were planning on telling you guys this when he comes by on Saturday, but we're not going to do a formal ceremony. We're doing what's called a photo wedding, where you just take pictures as if it were a real wedding.
Oh, really? You know, I think I have heard of those before.
Yeah, they're kind of a new thing. Mitch's parents both passed away when he was young, and he has no siblings, so we thought it would be a good plan. Plus, you know, I'm not one for gaudy events, getting dressed fancy, being paraded in front of a bunch of people, that sort of thing.
I see. Glad you're on the same page.
Oh, the people at the venue did say that it was okay to bring guests along on the day of the photo shoot. I'm going to send you an invitation to that, so be sure to save the date, okay?
Gotcha. I'll be sure to set it aside.
That leaves one problem, though. Mom.
Yeah, that's kind of a big problem.
After all, I'm pretty sure Mom still has no idea that we know she's been having an affair, and this whole "we just happened to run into each other" nonsense is all a cover. There's no way she'd be telling that bold of a lie if she knew.
You're right.
So what do you think, Dad? What are you gonna do?
Well, she just handed me the divorce papers a bit ago.
Wow, already?
Yep, I'm gonna make my move tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh? Well, I'm rooting for you, Dad.
Thanks, sweetheart. Hi, Linda. I submitted the divorce papers to the courthouse on my way home from work.
Wow, already? You're more obedient than I thought you would be. Good boy.
Yeah, I just want to get this out of the way so I can get on with my life.
Oh, well, good for you. All I want is to be divorced as soon as possible, so the sooner the better.
Right, the sooner the better. So, the sooner you get out of my house, the better. You have till tomorrow morning.
What? You're kicking me out?
The house is in my name.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Don't tell me. You haven't made new living arrangements yet? You're not stupid enough to throw a stack of divorce papers at me without having a plan for what you're gonna do after our divorce is finalized, are you?
Of course not. I just, was caught off guard by the fact that you got the divorce papers submitted so soon, that's all. I'll start packing up my stuff tomorrow morning.
No, didn't you hear me? I told you that you're going to be out of my house by tomorrow morning.
You're only giving me till morning?
I'll be staying at my friend's place tonight, so get your things in order and get the hell out. I'm gonna come by the house at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. You had better be gone by then.
Come on, by 9 a.m.? I'm gonna have to stay up all night in order to get all my stuff packed and move out in time.
I don't care what you have to do. Get it done. It was you who told me you wanted to get divorced as soon as possible, and I gave you what you wanted. We're divorced. That's my house you're in, and I want you out by tomorrow morning.
Fine, jeez. I'll do it. Just get off my back. Hey, Travis, just letting you know I finished moving my stuff out just now.
Good. Thanks for letting me know.
If you don't mind, can I ask you something?
Make it quick.
Kathy hasn't been answering any of my calls or texts since last night. Do you know anything? Has she spoken to you at all?
No, I didn't message Kathy at all yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Is that all you wanted? Can I go now?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Great. Now that that's settled, I no longer have any reason to communicate directly with you in the future. If you need anything from me, you'll have to do it through my attorney. You still have his card, don't you?
Yeah, I got it. Travis, this is all you're doing, isn't it?
I was very clear when I told you to talk to my attorney.
I don't have that kind of time. This is an emergency. What did you tell Nate, Travis, huh? Tell me right now. I just showed up at his house with my stuff to move in and he refused to let me in. What's going on?
Yeah, I figured that would happen.
Explain yourself now.
When he got back from his overseas business venture a year ago and the two of you met up, he had no idea that you had remarried, did he? Oh, Nate, it's been so difficult being a single mother these long 20 years. I was so lonely. You have no idea how hard it is to raise a child on your own as a woman in this society. Is that what you told him? I bet you threw in some crocodile tears too. You probably put on the best display of acting in your life to try and win back the man you rejected now that he's found success.
Did you meet Nate?
Well, to be more precise, we've never actually met in person. All of our communicating has been through our respective lawyers. But he did provide me with an affidavit stating that he had no idea you were a married woman, that you had lied to him and deceived him, that he was terribly sorry for any harm that has come to me, and that he's breaking up with you.
I don't believe this. How could you do something so dirty as going behind my back like that? You're a real creep, you know that?
You think you're in any position to be talking to me like that?
This can't be happening. I just went by Kathy's apartment, but she wasn't there. The whole place was dark. Then when I messaged her, she said that she didn't want to see me, so she was hiding out at her fiancé's house for a while. First Nate, now Kathy? Why? Why is this happening to me?
Ordinarily, I would just tell you to talk to my lawyer again, but since this has to do with Kathy, allow me to fill in the blanks.
Hurry up and tell me what's going on with her.
Kathy knew that you were having an affair.
She did? How?
She saw the two of you in the act with her own two eyes. She could tell that the guy you were with had the same eyes as she did. It wasn't that hard to figure out what was going on.
She saw us? Oh no.
It doesn't make a bit of difference that the two of you were married in the past. You were married to me at the time. You betrayed my trust. You're nothing but a low-down, good-for-nothing cheater.
But he's not just my ex-husband, he's Kathy's real dad.
Real? Why are you so caught up on that word? Who's more of her real dad? The one who took her to her first day of school, went to her high school graduation, and paid for her college education? Or the one who has been completely out of her life for as long as she's had a mind of her own? And when she talks about her dad, she's not talking about Nate. She's talking about me.
Be that as it may, I'm still her mother.
If only you hadn't cheated on me, we'd still be married and you'd still be able to enjoy the same happy, loving relationship with your daughter that you always had. Shame. Damn shame.
But you don't understand. He's a high-powered executive running his own business.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet he makes significantly more than me. A mid-level employee at a mid-sized firm, so he'd definitely be able to provide you with a much higher standard of living than I can right now. Maybe you should have divorced me before shacking up with him.
Well...
All you had to do was be honest. Sure, you may have had a bit of issues to work out, but you could have wound up in a much happier, more positive position than the one you find yourself in now.
Travis, do you think we can work things out between us?
Not a chance in hell.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. We can start over, get a fresh start.
I'm done talking to you.
No!
Now, for real this time. Anything else you want to say to me? Tell it to my lawyer.
I don't want to talk to your lawyer. I want to talk to you.
If you'd like to arrange a meeting with me, talk to my lawyer. He'll tell you no, though.
Travis, wait!
With nowhere else to run, Linda went crawling back to her parents' house to live with them. My lawyer went over there to discuss the possibility of settling my lawsuit for her affair out of court, which she agreed to. It seems like at the time she assumed that her parents would agree to foot the bill for her. But they're both retired and on a fixed income, so there was no way they could scrounge together the money to pay the bill for her. In the end, her father arranged for her to go be a live-in maid at the house of an acquaintance of his. 6 months after that, Linda crashed into the wedding venue for Kathy's wedding and shouted, "I'm the mother of the bride. I deserve to be a part of this." However, Kathy's photo shoot had taken place a week earlier. When she realized her mistake, she went completely berserk and started trashing the place. Which means that now she has 2 lawsuit debts she needs to work off. Thanks to her escapades, the guy who hired her decided he didn't want anything to do with her, so he fired her and kicked her out onto the street. And the street is where she's been living ever since, doing odd jobs here and there in a futile attempt to get herself out of debt.
Hey, Caden. It's been around 5 years now since last time I seen ya. Is this actually you, Devon? Before leaving the company years ago, you were in the same department as myself. You were a veteran there, pretty much. Yep, that's me. Well, long time no see, Devon. I haven't gotten a text or anything from you in so long now that I almost forgot about you. Did you need anything from me today? You being so nonchalant about all this must really mean you haven't noticed anything's going on yet. What are you talking about? Currently, you are working for Richardson's subsidiary company, correct? Yes, I am. And? Did I ever talk with you about what I've been up to ever since I left the previous company? Because I don't think I have. Nor have I spoken with anyone else that would have been talking to you about me. Well, yesterday and today, I've been staying at a hotel right across from that company you're a part of now. And as I've been leaving the hotel today, and coming back into it, I've seen you going in and out of that office building quite a few times now. So you're able to notice me. I'm sorry that I never saw you across the street. I was probably in a bit of a rush all those times and never had a chance to look around. Ah, but here's the thing. You done something really stupid and unnecessary. What exactly are you talking about? Something unnecessary and stupid? I understand that Richardson is a very large company and all that. You're not a part of that company, but rather a part of a small subsidiary of it, right? You made this huge deal 5 years ago about how you'd be transferring to this amazing new company, and you ended up there in some small subsidiary company, living in the shadows of a massive conglomerate. Being a part of a little company like that just goes to show how much of a loser you really are. And that's what I mean by something unnecessary. You went from a really good job working with me to some small company making about half the amount you did before, right? And you bragged about something like that to me. That's not something I've had to deal with. And bragging? You don't have to try covering up your past with me now, man. So, is this your reason for texting me, then? To check and see if I really was the man who was walking out of that office building? Well, that's right. Actually, I happen to have a good friend in Richardson's upper management, and I just wanted to let you know about that as well. Oh, is that right? I'm not too sure how that information will be helpful to me, but I'll make sure to remember that just in case. Yeah, you should. I'm sorry, Devon, but are we done here? I'm actually stopped in my car right now, texting you, so if you have nothing more to say, I'd like to get back on the road. I'll see. I have nothing else to tell you, so go right ahead. Goodbye, then, Devon. Hey, if it isn't Caden, why the heck are you here right now? What? Devon? Hey, you stop it right there. Don't you bother coming over to me, talk face to face. I'm assuming that since you're in the same lobby as me right now, all suited up, that means you'll be going to the same wedding as me. But I don't want anyone here thinking that I'm friends or have worked with someone who's now working for a small, insignificant subsidiary company. Especially on a day like today, when my father is the one getting married, and all his family and friends are here seeing me. What? You're telling me that the executive director who's getting married today is also your father? That's right. Oh, I never knew that. Your father happens to be the executive director, Michael Walters. I just assumed the last name Walters was a common last name and that you didn't have any family ties to him. Well, let me ask you this now. What the heck is someone like you at his wedding today? Well, I was invited to be at this wedding. There's no way someone invited a loser like you. I'm telling the truth, though. I'm sure you were never aware of this, but I happen to go to the same university as your father. You actually expect me to believe that just because you both went to the same uni, he'd want someone like you here? Calm yourself down there, bud. But your father and I happen to be really good friends, though. Huh? My father? Friends with a man like you? We happen to have relations to one another outside work, and that happens to involve the two of us going out a lot for drinks and things like that. And because of that friendship we have, he wanted me to be here at his wedding. Really? Well, if that's the case, then let me have a look at the invitation he sent you. I'll be waiting out in the parking lot for you, so come out and show me. Is it wrong for me to just show it to you right now, since we're both here in the lobby? I want to take a look at it somewhere where there are no other people. If something were to happen between us, I don't want anyone else seeing it. I don't think there's going to be anything happening between us, but alright then. Now, do you mind heading out there before me? I'll just be a few minutes. Why do I have to wait? Don't tell me you're going to try running from me now, right? Well, if you've finally realised you're not wanted here and want to run home, guess I won't mind that too much. I'm not running away. I have actually been really wanting to go to the restroom for a little bit now, and that's where I'll be heading. Jesus. I'll see. That's what this is all about. Oh, the restroom. Well, if that's all you want to do, then hurry it up. Will do. See you in a bit. You're a freaking loser, you. It's been 5 years since the last time I've been able to do something like that. And man, did that punch send you flying. I love this feeling so much. I was able to land a really solid hit this time. Sent you right into the ground. I have to say, your face the whole time was priceless as you sat there squirming on the ground. How's it feel, man? Devon, been 5 years now and still nothing has changed with you. Are you coming out in front of me like that again? Is the problem here? I'm sure you'll not be coming to the wedding now, since your face is a complete mess. Well, of course. Me going into that wedding in this state would cause everyone to be surprised, right? Well, listen, I knew from the beginning that you telling me about having an invitation was a lie, so this was my plan all along. Now, listen to me. You think my father would ever invite you to a wedding like this when you're nothing more than a low-level worker? I was going to show you the invitation from the executive director, but right before pulling it out, you punched me in the face. I'm guessing that was just going to be a fake anyway, right? So there's no point in showing me that anyway. So now that I've once again gotten another good punch into you, you'll go home, right? And that's right. If I don't head home now, I'm only going to become more and more worked up. I've never once seen my elite father hanging out with anyone as low life as you are, so don't you dare think I'm going to believe that for a second. So now that you know I'm not falling for your crap, you can head back to your home and get ready to work back at that tiny company again tomorrow. Oh, understood. Oh, could you please make sure to tell your father that for me? However, he may react in a way that you might not like, and I don't really want to hear from you about it. You've already lost, so just shut up and go away. Hurry up, vanish from my world, you loser. Righty then, time to get to that wedding. I'll finally get to talk with my father again, after 10 long years of having to live outside his house. Hey, Caden, you get your butt back to this wedding right now. If you don't come back, I'm going to be screwed. Please hurry up. Get back here. I'm sorry, but right now I'm in the hospital, getting my face and head taken care of, so I won't be able to come back that way for some time. Then you tell my father right now that what's going on with you, so he'll understand. Oh, crap. This is really crappy for me. Right after you went back inside after punching me, you were taken into custody, right? That's right. I thought I chose the right place to hit you without anyone being around to notice, but there was someone in the parking garage watching us, and that turned out to be my brother of all people. Well, I had asked for him to be there. Huh? Of course, I'd asked for someone to come witness what was going on there. And back when we both worked at the same company together, you always hated me, because I happened to go to a really good school and had a lot of good scores there. And after 10 years of you never seeing your father because he happened to kick you out of the house, you thought you could waltz into your father's wedding and get away with seeing him again. And the fact that you have known nothing about your father this whole time, yet came to his wedding acting like the boss, really tells me that you have not changed at all since the last time we were around one another. What? I'll have you know I'm not going to be helping you get out of the situation you've landed yourself in today. Huh? You think I'm going to help the man that punched me in the face, sending me to the ground? I have absolutely no reason to do something like that. And no matter how much of a social outcast you really are, Devon, you have to understand that what you did this time will not go unnoticed. Oh, you don't have to give me all that crap right now. At least come back to this wedding and please my father for me. Devon, along with the fact that I'm really good friends with your father, have you ever asked him what relationship I have with him when it comes to the business side of things? I've heard from him already. You happen to be the grandson of Richardson's president, and as of right now, you've been left with the responsibility of running that subsidiary company as the CEO. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of the position I hold, but to think you'd act in such a way around someone as high up as me. Jesus, I get it already. You are the CEO of that company and are above me. Now could you please just come back to the wedding when you're done there? I need you to come here and help me. Look, you should be happy to hear me begging for help from you now, right? What did you just say to me? Do you not give a crap about what'll happen to me? There's no reason in me going to that wedding anymore anyway. It's because of what you've done that the wedding is being cancelled. Huh? The wedding's being cancelled now? Caden, lend me some money. You're not just some small employee, but a CEO, so you should have money to lend to me, right? Since the two of us used to work together a lot. Look, how's about you give me $120,000 for now? You really have made a joke of yourself now, Devon. You have the money, right? I think I know what this is about. Due to the fact that you made a huge scene at the wedding and had it cancelled, you're being stuck with paying for the cancelled wedding. And I'm assuming your father wants a settlement from you now as well. Give me $120,000. Devon, do you realise that you're asking me for money when you're going to owe me money through a settlement? That's a bit backwards, don't you think? What? Huh? By the way, Devon, 3 years ago you happened to be fired from that company we both used to work for, right? Why do you know about that? I heard about you from one of my other co-workers there. I'm aware now that the real reason you came to that wedding you were never invited to was to get your father and ask him for some money, right? Is it so wrong for me to be going to my father's wedding without an invite? Oh, don't forget that he told you he was cutting ties to you and that he never wanted you near him ever again. Ugh. And now there is one more thing you might want to know about. After you gave me that punch and started to rush out of the parking garage, you ran into a pregnant woman and pushed her to the ground. When you should have been offering to help her up, you instead started to yell at her about getting in your way, and then left her there, on the ground, to try and get up herself. And what about that? That pregnant witch was in my way, so I had to push her over. Well, that pregnant woman. She happens to be the older sister of the bride. What? And if that's not helping you to understand what's going to happen here, that woman is like your father's sister to him. In other words, you just assaulted his older sister. When you knocked her down on your way out there, she landed on her stomach and felt some immediate, sharp pain. She called for an ambulance, and it turned into a huge deal. In the end, this occurrence was all captured on a security camera there at the garage, and when your father was shown the recorded video of what happened, well, at least his sister-in-law and her baby are all right now. But you can see why that wedding ended up getting cancelled, right? Well, things turned out that bad for her then. Well, it so happens that your father and his new in-laws all knew about how he had to cut ties to you before, and so his wife isn't going to hold anything that happened against him. By the way, am I the first one to explain all of this story to you when it's already been a few days since it happened now? What? That's what I thought. You haven't been talked to by anyone since then, or you haven't been listening to them. Hey, Caden, what about that money? Oh, shut the hell up about it. Never talk to me again, you freak. Just as I had finished texting Devon about the whole situation, his father came out to get him and took him back into his custody, and after that he was put through the ringer by, well, just about everyone. To try and hide all the things that had been going on, he didn't let anyone take his smartphone from him, and even poured water over it in a last-ditch effort to try and hide the evidence. But everyone was able to get the phone away from him just as he poured the water on it, and it was still accessible. There, they were all able to read through Devon's conversations with me, and with that, his father was able to make sure Devon would be paying him for both the cancelled wedding and the settlement. And, as a way of forcing Devon to make money, his father, the executive director of Richardson, has sent him overseas to a factory for the company, where he works long hours every day, making money to pay off his debts. A month after that happened, Devon sent his dad a letter from overseas asking to please let him come home. But his father responded back by saying he had 20 more years of work to do in order to pay off every penny. In the end, Devon had ended up with a total of 3 settlements that he was being asked to pay, and with all of those fees from the cancelled wedding. 1 settlement from his father, 1 from his father's sister-in-law, and 1 from myself for assaulting me. So with all 3 of those settlements and the cost of that whole wedding being asked from him, I can understand why he wanted me to lend him that $120,000 and why it'll take him close to 20 years to work that amount off, depending on where he's having to work. Of course, there is more money than just that he owes, but that $120,000 is just the amount being charged to him for the wedding. When it comes to myself and all the damages from that punch he gave me, well, they're finally starting to go away and all be healed up. All I can say is it feels great being back to a normal life, not having to worry about Devon's presence anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.